forensic science professor, as well as a former FBI agent, Mary Ellen O'Toole. Mary Ellen, thank you so much for being with us. I spoke with you about this case just a few weeks ago. You had talked about putting together a profile of the suspect here. How does this arrest, how does Bryan Kohberger match up with that profile you had created?
Well, I still have a lot to really learn about him. And so I can probably answer that question better in a couple of days, but what's being released right now is very limited. What I think is particularly interesting is his academic background, just in terms of what he's studying, and whether or not that in some way plays into this. His interest in certainly in criminal behavior, but it certainly goes far beyond that, because I still haven't heard anything today about his personality and the personality traits that we saw at the crime scene. So, for example, it was very high risk for the offender to go into that house that night because there were so many people inside that house, and there were so many neighbors close by. So you take your personality to the crime that you commit. So once additional information comes out about him, it will be easier to see if what I said fits to his personality or doesn't fit.
Well, let's talk about, we learned from Evan Lambert reporting for us out of Washington, D.C., that Kohberger earned a BA in psychology in 2020. He earned his master's in criminology just this year, earning that in May. And then he was a Ph.D. candidate in criminology and criminal justice. So those three topics, psychology, criminology, criminal justice, what does that tell you?
Absolutely nothing, to be honest with you. It really doesn't. There's so many students out there, even at my university, that have those kinds of degrees. It doesn't mean anything. So we're going to have to really dig a lot deeper, and again, into the personality to see if these degrees were a method, kind of a means to an end for him to getting into the mind of someone like this, or if they actually had nothing to do with it. Again, so many students have those degrees and those backgrounds, and they're the furthest thing away from being violent that you can imagine. So I think we still need to be very careful about extrapolating.
Absolutely. And Mary Ellen, is actually what I love, because that was a lot of the problem, that we had so many armchair detectives, people understandably interested in the case, but yet jumping to conclusions, pointing fingers at the innocent. Listening to that press conference, what surprised you? And because obviously there are still so many questions, did anything particularly stand out to you after that press conference?
I don't know that one or two things stood out to me. I was very impressed with the cohesive way that the investigation was carried out, because it had to be done in a way that they would surprise this person, that they were going to make an arrest, because you don't want anybody else to get hurt when you're making an arrest of someone accused of a quadruple murder. And secondarily, you don't want any evidence destroyed. So that becomes very important as well. So the strategy that went into the arrest, I think was really important, and they were very careful about being able to do that. I thought it was interesting that this offender, who still resides in that category of alleged killer, might still have the same vehicle that people saw at that house on the early morning hours of the murders. I thought that was very interesting. And so the next question that I have, if in fact this is the person that committed the crimes, if in fact this was the vehicle, just having that vehicle in their possession is very high risk, which is kind of consistent with high risk behavior in the crime scene. And it can also be kind of arrogant. Well, they're never going to catch me. The cops will never get onto me. They'll never figure it out. And so I'm waiting to see if that plays out and has a role, that kind of thinking plays a role into this person's personality.
Absolutely. All right. Former FBI agent, current forensic science professor, Mary Ellen O'Toole. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.